What's going on, NSL? You got Dallas GM Maverick here, and I'm joined today by the new guy, the new kid on the block, Indiana's own YeetMaster himself. What's going on, Yeet?
What's up, fellas?
So what we're gonna do, guys, is basically start a kind of like a mock draft between Yeet and myself, and we decided that I'll be picking first. So I'm gonna go 1, 3, 5. The way it goes, because he has the number one pick. So I'm going to be picking for Yeet, and then we'll evaluate and maybe compare and contrast. We sort of had conversations just a little while ago, Yeet and myself, and on where we think guys are going to go in this draft. Lots of movement and rumors happening and stuff, and it's going to be an exciting draft this year for the NSL for sure. What do you think, Yeet?
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be real fun. It's gonna be real fun.
Well, without further ado, this might be a lengthy video, so we're just going to go ahead and start. And I am going to be picking, again, like I said, for Yeet. So I'm going first. I'm going to take all the odd number picks as well, and then kind of expound a little bit if we can. We're only going to do the first round, for this pod itself. And of course, with the number one pick, the new kid on the block, Indiana is going to choose Keontae George.
Wrong. I'm actually trading the pick. It's not even mine anymore.
He told me he's a big Baylor fan, so
I went
Keontae
and got
George.
Thanasis. Fine.
What do you need, Wemby, when you have Thanasis, right?
Yeah.
No, but of course, the probably the worst kept secret in years, probably since LeBron, maybe around the Anthony Davis, 2012 draft, whatever, as well. But I have the Indiana Pacers selecting Victor Wembanyama, one of those generational players, man, that San Antonio in real life seems to always get. So congrats to the new kid landing in a great league and getting the prized possession. I feel bad for the guys that were actively tanking to try to get the pick. And I'm going to be a little bit better because I I traded away my pick kind of stupidly without protections a couple of years back. But there you go, Yeet. You got yourself a generational player, man, and going to a good squad in real life. So this guy's going to be really, really special for years and years.
Oh,
Excited?
for sure. For sure. Well,
Nice.
I like him specifically because San Antonio is the best place for him because it's the one team out of those lottery teams that out of those like bottom five lottery teams that he's going to automatically start as that number one option.
Yep.
He's going to be like the go-to guys. Like it's like they got Kellen Johnson, they got all those guys and whatnot. They got Devin Vassell. It's like all those guys. Those are those. They're all good guys. They're good like rotational 2, 3 guys, but it's like they had no clear cut number one. That's what they've
Right.
been like. Victor Wembanyama is that clear cut number one.
It's his team day one. His
Yeah,
team
exactly.
day one.
So the offense and defense is going to go through him. So how that translates back to me is that 2K has a hard on for big men, as we all know,
Yeah.
and for me that's big. Now, obviously, I have Karl Anthony Towns. I don't actually have Karl Anthony Towns anymore. I'll say it right now, he's gone. I'm not saying for who I'm getting, but he's gone. He's not on my team anymore. So I'm excited the fact of pairing him with Jabari Smith Jr. and Victor Wembanyama's crazy shooting ability and being able to space the floor. Him and Jabari are going to just destroy everybody.
That is spacing with big men. I mean, that's
That's
just gonna
spacing.
break
Yeah,
the engine, man.
name me another 7 foot, that 7'5" guy that can space the floor.
Yep.
Do it. I dare you.
He's got Jimmer range, dude. It's come on, man. That's exciting. Definitely, man. I'm happy for you coming in. That's really good news. Like, I'm sure like you're more excited than anybody else. Brand new league, and getting the number one pick. This pick, not even just a number one pick.
The number
But
one.
anyway, we're next is we have Utah's actually picking 2 and 3. So who do you have Utah picking at 2?
Yeah. I got Scoop. If I didn't land number one, I was gunning for Scoot.
Yeah.
I love him. He's good. His comparisons have been like to Russ, Brody, Rose, Prime Rose, Young Rose. I mean, he is an aggressive downhill player. He can
Oh yeah.
score, he can pass. His averages are all 5+ above. And then he's a good defensive player too, because he's big for a guard. I mean, you just look at him and you can tell he's
He's
built.
built like a Mack truck, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, that's and that not really too much of a need, but at this point you don't that's another guy. If it was any other year, Scoot would have probably gone number one, no matter
Yeah.
what. So yeah, unfortunate and fortunate for Utah. You know what I mean? They didn't get the number one pick. That was
Oh yeah, so
generational.
unfortunate for Utah. They got
Yeah.
picks number two
Two
and
and
three.
three on probably
I'm
a
crying for them.
yeah,
Yeah,
probably a top five heavy draft, and they got two and three.
right.
No, and I totally agree with Scoot. Like I said, he's going to be one of those players, going to be very complimentary. I know I heard somewhere that he is shopping. I believe, I think it was today. I think he's shopping. Is it Giddy? Giddy's on his team, right?
Giddy is on his team. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So that's I believe who he's shopping, whatever. So either way, I mean, Jace knows what he's doing. He's a really good GM. And definitely that's something that to be considered. But with the 3 pick, I have him going, and again, this is going to be not so surprising, at least on the 135 is the odds that I have. But I do have him going with Brandon Miller. He this is where I kind of poke at it. He could have used a big, Wemby, but no, but yeah, you have to go with BPA at this point, and to me, it's a toss up between Amen and Miller, honestly. But I think Miller would probably be a better fit for his team, especially since Amen kind of plays the same as Scoot
Yeah.
as far as position, so that'd be redundant. So I have him taking Brandon.
Yeah, I'm the same. I got him taking Brandon. My issue with Utah is that I don't be. They also have pick number 7, so they got 3 picks in the top 7. I
Yeah,
don't be surprised if they move one of these picks. They need a big man. They don't have a real big man, but there's also the fact that you got so many young good players on your team in the first place. You got to find it's going to be hard to find playing time for all of them.
oh yeah, definitely.
And let's and then of course when the time comes around, you're not going to be able to pay all of them.
Yeah, at all. They have the
I
Oklahoma
do
City
not be
Thunder issue.
surprised if Utah moves one of these picks. Don't be surprised in the slightest.
I have a rumor that they did already. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll get to that here in a little bit. But yeah, one of them has not officially, obviously, can't do that yet. But rumor has it that one of the picks has been moved. We'll see which one it is, though. So at number 4, who do you have Detroit taking?
I got Cam Whitmore. Now, I may be a bit higher on him than most other people, but I mean, his all around game, he's very good. He's a solid shooter, 34% from 3.
Mhm.
He's a solid defensive player, 1.4 steals per game. And he's like what 6'6", 6'7" listed as, but he's also got like a 235, 240-pound frame.
Oh yeah,
You don't see that
6.5.
often in wings.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
and wings. Like in today's game, when you see a wing, they're more of like the 205, 210, 215 maybe range. He's big for a
he's a big
six
dude.
foot seven,
Yeah,
6'6" wing.
yeah,
I like the fit better for Detroit than say Amon, which most people would probably put here instead, just because it's like you got Anthony Simons, you got Donovan Mitchell.
yeah,
Amon is more of a guard than a wing. You could start him at the 3 because he's 6'7", but at them getting a more defensive. Amon needs the ball in his hands too with the way
yeah,
he plays.
yeah,
Ian Whitmore doesn't need the ball in his hands. He's a good spot up shooter. I, I compared him in my mock. I said, will he be like the next Paul George? Probably not, but could he be like another OG Anube? It wouldn't be
oh yeah,
surprising. It wouldn't be surprising if he can just get his defensive skills up better and his shooting a bit more increased. They need a wing player that doesn't need the ball in their hands, and Kim Whitmore, I think, fits that bill.
yeah. And I'm really high on Cam. I just had a conversation on what the rumor. I'm going to tell you about the trade here in a little bit with that GM going, that route. Now I didn't have Cam going this high, but I'm really high on Cam as a wing player, like you said. It probably does fit the team a little bit better. Now I had Amin Thompson going to Detroit based on the size and just the BPA part of it. But I can see your point. I mean, I can see that argument with Cam and maybe Amin dropping a little bit. No, I'm really high on that guy. So yeah, Cam is somebody. I mean, if I was in that in like around that area, 5 to 6, 7, that area, I'd definitely consider. He's gonna be one of those special players, I think.
For sure. If I landed at 4, I'm taking Cam over anyone else.
Yeah. At number 5, now here's the thing. So I'm gonna have to drop I'm in here somewhere because I still think the Lakers picking at 5, I still think that they're more in need. Again, and if something you've heard or something like that, you let me know as well. But as of right now, I think they're in need of a big man. But there's been rumors or whatever as well, and
I
we
heard
discussed
that
that.
is not true anymore. I heard they don't need a big man anymore. For who or what it could be, I don't know. All I know is that I don't think they need a big man anymore.
Okay,
I
okay.
don't think that's their number one need anymore.
I had them picking Jarris Walker, but like I said, this is just our conversation on
Yeah,
where we thought, and we don't know if deal is going to go through or not, whatever. But if that is the case, then they're not going to need a Jarris. They probably would maybe move to the Amen, draft as well. I do have them taking Jarris, but like I said, if something like that comes to fruition where they don't need the big, then I would definitely see Amen slotted here. I don't see him dropping any further than 6, honestly. And that
no
would
way.
even be a surprise.
Yeah, I
That's
mean, Jarris Walker. Even if LA gets a big man somehow, Jarris Walker is a
special.
power forward. You can still take him at 5, and he would fit well.
Oh yeah,
He's a big guy
yeah.
and he can stretch the floor, rebound, play defense. He's a very good interior defender. So he
Amazing
would,
player, man. I
even
saw
if
him a couple of
LA is able to
times.
get a big via trade signing, whatever, he would still fit in LA at 5. But I know for a fact I've talked to LA. They're He's a big fan of Amon. I haven't taken him out at 5th.
Okay.
The biggest reason why I put Cam over Amand is lack of real competition. Him and Asar, I think their stats are inflated. They're good players, don't get me wrong, but it's like name another real prospect that's going to get drafted out of the overtime elite league this year. You can't. You
You
really
got one kid
can't.
at the bottom somewhere.
Yeah.
The guy who plays with the Ignite also. What's his name?
City
Miller,
Casca?
right? Leonard Miller, right?
Leonard Miller, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, maybe, but you're right. And sometimes they're not playing up to the same quote unquote, uh abilities and all that. Like, their competitions maybe all not that good. Although G League is supposed to be NBA sort of ready players. But no, I can see your point. I can see where maybe this is one of the years that number 4 pick is just going to be one of those, and then maybe the 5 pick as well. But it's a good argument with Jarris would probably be maybe a better player in historic level, like his
Yeah.
career, then maybe I'm in Thompson.
Yeah, no. If you're to LA and you want to go fit wise, Jarris Walker makes the most sense. If
Yeah,
you want to go talent wise, best player available, Amon would make the most sense.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So at 6 we have Atlanta and one of their first out of, I don't know, I think 3 picks this first round, 2 for sure. I can see. No, I'm
Yep.
sorry, it's 2, but it's 2 high ones, 2 top 10 picks.
Yeah.
The 6th pick was a trade that happened between 2 other squads. It was Orlando and Atlanta a couple years back, and then I acquired the worst pick of both. So I'm actually picking 10th.
Yeah.
Atlanta's picking 6
I
here.
put that in my mock as Dallas was picking
Yeah.
6. Didn't know about that trade. So I'm gonna go off the top of my head right now looking at their team. As far as from what I've been told by Atlanta, they're planning to go full rebuild.
Wow.
That's what he wants to do. Whether or not it ends up happening, depending on the asking price for Siakam and Lillard, is pretty high. I know for a fact his asking price for Hunter is high because I've asked about Hunter. Um, Looking at his team, if Damian Lillard and Pascal Siakam are gone, you would go Asar Thompson You don't really have any other scorers on that team. DeAndre Hunter's not a scorer. Killian Hayes is not a scorer. Kobe White, I mean, he's a scorer, but he's not like a main guy.
Right, right.
Sar Thompson from day one can be that guy. He's
Yep.
better offensively talented. He's better at shooting and scoring the ball than his brother Amen. Amen's the better playmaker. Sar is the better scorer.
Right. I mean,
Still
he's
not
the
the best.
ball.
Yeah,
Right.
still not the best 3-point shooter at 30 something percent, but I mean, 16 points per game. He's got 7 rebounds per game, 6 assists, 1.3 blocks, 2.7 steals. The Thompson twins are going to be very good defensively. We didn't mention that before. They're both very good defensive
Very
players,
good defenders. Yeah.
but he needs to work on his shot. If he can improve his shot, there's the argument made that he could end up being better than even Scoot or Miller. Same
Yeah.
with Ahmad. We could go look at this draft 5 years down the road, and it could have ended up what it should have been was Victor, Aman, and Asur 1, 2, and 3. So,
Might be. Yeah, it might be something like that. And they're actually, and the funny thing is, I mean, not that this makes much difference, but they'll be 21 when the season's, well, not when it starts, but during the season. They'll both be 21 years old. So, the twins are a little bit older than some of the other guys coming in, but yeah, man, that's where I had it. Also Atlanta taking had Asar. So we agree with that one